Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I came to tell you it's time. It's time to kill that weak version of yourself. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that keeps making excuses, the one that keeps settling, the one that keeps saying maybe next time. Nah, there is a version of you that has been running the show for far too long. This version is the one that keeps whispering doubts in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not ready yet. It's the version of you that hesitates when an opportunity comes, convincing you to wait just a little longer, to play it safe, to not take that leap because of what could go wrong. That weak version of yourself is the one that makes promises it never keeps, saying I'll start tomorrow, only to wake up and repeat the same habits that have kept you stuck for years. You know this version well. It's the voice in your head that talks you out of your own greatness. It tells you to hit the snooze button instead of waking up early to chase your dreams. It tells you to settle for less because going after more is too risky. It reminds you of every failure, every mistake, every time you've fallen short, and uses it as evidence to prove that you should just stay in your comfort zone. This version of you is afraid of hard work, afraid of struggle, afraid of rejection. So instead of pushing forward, it convinces you to step back. The weak version of you loves distractions. It loves scrolling endlessly through social media instead of focusing on your goals. It loves binge watching TV instead of building your future. It loves complaining about how life isn't fair instead of taking action to change it. It makes excuses about why success isn't possible, blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck. But the truth is, the weak version of yourself is a liar. It's not protecting you. It's not keeping you safe. It's keeping you small. This version of you avoids responsibility. It tells you that you don't have control over your life, that things just happen to you. It convinces you to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect opportunity, none of which exist. Meanwhile, time keeps passing and you stay exactly where you've always been. The weak version of you is comfortable in mediocrity because mediocrity doesn't demand effort. It doesn't require growth. It lets you stay where you are, doing the same things, living the same life, feeling the same frustration year after year. Fear fuels this version of you. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment. It keeps you second-guessing yourself, convincing you that you're not ready yet. It makes you believe that if you just wait a little longer, you'll suddenly feel confident enough, prepared enough, brave enough to take action. But that moment never comes, because confidence doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. The weak version of you knows this, and that's why it keeps you stuck in hesitation, thinking instead of acting, planning instead of executing. This version of you feeds on negativity. It loves complaining, gossiping, and focusing on everything that's wrong instead of what's possible. It surrounds itself with people who also make excuses, who also doubt themselves, who also settle for less. It doesn't want to be around people who are winning because that would mean facing the truth that you too have the power to change your life, but you haven't stepped up to claim it. The weak version of you is not your friend. It's not helping you. It's not saving you. It's keeping you from becoming who you were meant to be. Excuses are the easiest thing to make and the hardest thing to break. They come in all shapes and sizes, dressed up as valid reasons, logical explanations, and justifications for why things aren't going the way you want them to. They sound convincing, they feel real, and they provide temporary comfort by taking the responsibility off your shoulders. But the truth is, every excuse you make is just another chain keeping you tied to the life you say you don't want. People make excuses because it's easier than facing the truth. It's easier to blame a lack of time than to admit that time isn't the problem. Priorities are. It's easier to say you don't have the right resources than to acknowledge that plenty of people have succeeded with even less than what you have right now. It's easier to claim you're too tired, too busy, or too unlucky than to admit that deep down, you're afraid of the work, the sacrifice, and the possibility of failure. Excuses let you stay where you are without feeling guilty about it. But they don't move you forward. They don't build success. They don't change your life. Excuses are a defense mechanism, a way to shield yourself from the discomfort of effort. They allow you to rationalize why you haven't taken action, why you haven't stepped up, why you haven't gone after the things you claim to want. They keep you in the same cycle, repeating the same patterns, seeing the same results. The more you use them, the more they become a habit, and before you know it, they turn into a mindset, a way of thinking that convinces you life is happening to you instead of because of you. People who succeed have the same challenges, the same obstacles, the same struggles as everyone else. The difference is they refuse to let those things become excuses. They wake up tired but still put in the work. They don't have all the answers but take action anyway. They don't always feel motivated but stay disciplined enough to push through. They understand that excuses don't bring results, action does. The world doesn't owe you anything, and waiting for the perfect conditions will leave you waiting forever. There will never be a day when everything lines up just right, when all the fears disappear, when success is guaranteed. Those who make it in life are the ones who start before they feel ready. They know that action creates progress, and progress builds momentum. They don't waste time explaining why they can't. They focus on finding ways they can. Excuses steal your potential. They keep you comfortable, but they also keep you stuck. They make you believe that you're a victim of circumstances instead of the creator of your own life. They rob you of the lessons that come from struggle, the strength that comes from persistence, and the confidence that comes from proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. There will always be reasons to put things off, to wait, to hesitate. But every time you do, you're pushing your dreams further away. Every time you choose an excuse over action, you're choosing to stay the same. The life you want, the goals you have, the success you dream of, they are all on the other side of the excuses you keep making. There is a stronger version of you waiting to be unleashed, but it won't come out until you decide to let it lead. That version of you isn't controlled by fear, doubt, or insecurity. It doesn't hesitate, overthink, or look for a way out when things get tough. It knows that success, happiness, and fulfillment are not handed out freely. They are earned through persistence, discipline, and action. That version of you is not some distant dream or unreachable ideal. It's already inside you, buried under years of hesitation, excuses, and self-imposed limitations. The strong version of you is the one that refuses to settle for mediocrity. It doesn't allow setbacks to become stopping points. When it fails, it learns. When it falls, it gets back up. It doesn't waste time looking for an easy way out because it understands that anything worth having requires effort, patience, and sacrifice. It knows that struggle is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. It knows that talent means nothing without action, and that potential is wasted if it's never used. This version of you takes ownership of everything in your life, the good, the bad, the victories, and the failures. It doesn't wait for someone else to come and fix things. It doesn't point fingers, make excuses, or blame circumstances. It looks at every challenge as an opportunity to grow, every obstacle as a chance to become better, every hardship as a lesson that will build resilience. It doesn't just wish for a better life, it works for it. The strong version of you doesn't waste time on things that don't matter. It doesn't get caught up in drama, distractions, or negativity. It knows that every moment spent complaining, gossiping, or doubting is a moment stolen from progress. It surrounds itself with people who push it forward, not those who hold it back. It seeks out knowledge, embraces challenges, and welcomes discomfort because it understands that growth only happens outside of the comfort zone. This version of you doesn't wait for motivation to show up. It understands that motivation is temporary, but discipline is what leads to results. It shows up on the days when